It's our first video looking at CEI for a while. You guys will know I have been ill in the past week, which unfortunately meant I did not have the ability to film any videos, but I certainly am back for you now, and we're going to be looking at CEI in this one. So we do have a bit of stuff to cover. Again, this is mainly technical analysis, but I want to share a few of my thoughts and opinions as always with you guys. Like I said, I didn't really get the opportunity to upload too much into the last week, but we have seen a bit of a trend change in CEI. I want to talk about what comes next and where we could be going from here. Again, guys, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, but if you do enjoy the content that you see, make sure to give this video a like and of course subscribe to our channel, because we do talk about CEI and a bunch of other stocks almost on a daily basis, minus the past week of course, but yeah, we're going to be doing that again going forwards into this week. Again, if you can, guys, please do donate to our fundraiser. We are trying to donate funds to Save the Children. We've raised $200 so far. Thank you for all of that. But ultimately, 100% of funds do go to Save the Children. We're just trying to help people going forwards into Christmas and the new year. So if you can donate, the link to it will be somewhere around the video. So please do press on it if you can. And please give whatever you can if possible. But now we're going to dive into the video and look at CEI. We're going to start this one actually on the simple chart, so it's easy for everybody to understand what has gone on in the past 5 days or so. And for this one, I really want to zoom us out to the past month. So last time we looked at CEI was relatively around this point, from I would say about the 16th or 17th or even the 18th, coming up to about the 21st. And we had this initial spike in CEI. And my question was, from here, are we going to start to see a bit of a trend reversal? Are we going to start to see the staircase form and move up and up and up? But unfortunately, that is not what we have seen. And yes, whilst we have seen a move up with CEI today of only 0.0001%, it is basically neutral, and it is actually fluctuating between neutral some points as well. My question is, what comes next for this stock? And again, as it has failed the pattern that we were looking for, what are we going to see going forwards from where we are here? So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by looking at what we've seen on the 5-day chart. So you will see that on Tuesday of last week, we were sat on a price of 134. Then we started to see that rise, step back in, take us to 170 mark almost. And then from there, we stepped up to the 170s again, touching almost the 180s at some point. So we did have a start of a rise going forwards into the early part of last week. But ever since then, going forwards into Friday, we had this big gap down. Actually, we had the big gap down, which took us to a price of 140s, which was not too far away from where we published our last video. So clearly, we haven't managed to find a support for very long in the 170s/160s, and the question now is what is going to come next. So what we're going to do for this one is we're going to zoom out to the technical charts. I want to look at the indicators with you guys on the 1 day, 5 day, and 1 month, and then I will share a few of my thoughts on what we have noticed at the very end. So on the 1 day, you'll see that we are sat on a moving average of 1465, which is a little bit higher than where we are right now. Again, it's not too bad because you will know that we have had that drop down most recently, and yes, we are still catching up from that, but really it's not too far away because we haven't had too much action at all today, especially coming in from 10 AM onwards. So from the MACD data, we can see that we are becoming a little bit bearish right now, but this actually could be changing and we could be seeing a bullish trend start to form up again on the 1 day. Again, it's not too significant in my eyes because I don't look at the 1 day data too strongly, but the RSI figure for this time period is 46. Now come out to the 5 day chart and you will see one thing is clear. Again, we're sat on that moving average almost exactly. You can see the pink tab just sticking out over the top there, but it's not too far away from where we are right now. That is because we have had this stable movement from Friday going forwards into today, so we've not really had too much to catch up on when it comes to the data for the moving average. Now the RSI is at 40, which is a little bit low, but it's only 10 points away from being neutral, so it's not really at a level where I would worry at all, and the MACD data is becoming bearish after this drop. So that is a bit more inclusive. It shows us the general trend that we have noticed in the past week. The past month, like I said now, we're almost exactly on that moving average. You will see that you cannot even see the tab sticking out of it at all, so I would say we're pretty much on that right now, which is, is fairly okay. This one has had the time to catch up now because bear in mind, from about the 9th or so on, we have been stuck in this level, below the $2 mark, fluctuating between the 170s, 180s, all the way down to the 120/140s. So somewhere in that range is where we have been for the past few weeks, actually, mainly, again, like I said, from about the 10th or the 11th going forwards, you will see that we haven't really had too much movement from there. But yeah, what I want to focus on now is simply put the data that we are seeing in this time period. So we're seeing a volume figure of 74.72 million today, and the volume for this stock is quite important in my opinion. So go back to Friday, you will see that volume was on 149 million and the prior day was at 147. So the day is not over yet, and again the data is only coming from Yahoo Finance, but I think the data, or at least the volume for the stock today, is a little low. One thing that I have said in the past, if we want to see the stock keep going upwards, we need to have the momentum coming from the actual retail investors. If people are not talking about the stock, or if people ultimately are not buying the stock, we are not going to have too much upwards momentum. And again, whether people are buying it or not, I'm not too sure, but one thing that I can say is that the volume figures for today are looking quite low, and ultimately, if we want to see this one take moves upwards, I would suggest that we want to see that volume start to increase again. Obviously, whether this happens or not is unclear yet, but that's just my personal interpretation. Now, the RSI for this time period is at 47, which is perfect. Bear in mind that's only 3 points from neutral, so it's exactly where we want it to be. And the trend on the MACD is becoming bearish still, as we have had this step down, but most recently it is becoming quite neutral in that bearish level. It hasn't really moved down too much more, which is a good sign. Again, what we want to see now is a breakout upwards, but whether this is going to happen is still unclear in my opinion. So, what do I think about CEI right now? You guys will know that from these highs up here, I've been talking about CEI, and ultimately from that entire time period, I was quite bearish. Now, the one period where I was bullish on CEI, I will admit, was here, and I think in this time still, if you were to have gotten at the right point, it definitely could have been a decent trade. And again, you will see the lines from what I was talking about last time. It was quite unclear as to whether we were going to see that trend continue, and it actually did continue for 3 or 4 days, but unfortunately, from there, it failed, and we have dropped lower. So what do I think to CEI right now? Would I buy this stock? I personally would not buy this stock, and again, the same reason is what I have been basically noting for the past month or so. The reason is simple. With CEI, we had this big push up, we had people buy in and of course make big profits, then a lot of people sold, and we saw what we often do see with these momentum trades time after time. We saw this one kind of trickle out and people kind of lost interest. Now, whether that continues to be the case is unclear. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on the stock. It absolutely could make a bit of a comeback and we could see some more growth, so please do not get my words misinterpreted. But I think with CEI, I am definitely going to be looking at this one from a fact-based perspective. It's all fun being bullish on the stock, don't get me wrong, but I think there is also something to be said about the fact that this one hasn't really seen much movement in the past 2 weeks. I think based off that, I am still kind of apprehensive to buy this stock, so I personally wouldn't buy it. Again, if the data does change, my opinions will change, but I just think right now, we're not seeing too much of a movement upwards with the stock, we're not seeing too much of a movement at all with the stock, and it is quite risky. It does definitely leave us wondering what is to come next. Now, those of you who are more speculative may think now is a good time to buy CEI, and I do completely understand that. I completely appreciate that you may have a differing opinion to me, but from where I stand, in my personal trading strategy, it carries a little bit too much risk. Like I said, it's just what I personally believe. Tell me your opinions down below, because I do want to hear them all. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you will be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching, see you soon.